Hey everyone, so in this video I will go over how you can make yerba mate kombucha at home. This is a pretty simple recipe and it just differs from normal kombucha in that you're using the ingredient yerba mate. So right here I have all the supplies and ingredients you really need for this recipe. First thing you need is a big gallon jar and then some tea. You just need the tea to add in the tannins. Usually kombucha does well with them, especially if you've grown your kombucha mother using tea. Then you also need some yerba mate. I'm just using regular yerba mate I got at the store. I know that there's smoked varieties, but I think for this recipe just using regular is best. And then last off, you just need some sugar. So here I have a mix of brown and white sugar and then my gallon jar. For this 1 gallon recipe, I will be doing about half a cup of yerba mate, and I just brew it with hot water in a teapot for about 10 minutes. You will also need a kombucha mother for this recipe. I'll post a video down below of how I make regular kombucha, and in it I show you how you can grow a mother. I won't go over that in this video, but it's pretty straightforward and simple, and I just keep it in the fridge while I get all the ingredients ready and clean the brewing vessel. For the green tea, I use about 6 tea bags of just loose green tea and no flavorings or anything, it's just plain, and I let it brew for about 10 minutes in a pot of water on the stove. Alright, once the yerba mate and tea are done brewing, I brew both for about 10 minutes. I just put them into the glass jar that I cleaned. So I just cleaned it with regular dish soap, but you can also use Star San or other sanitation methods to clean your jars. But I'm also pouring boiling water into it, so that also disinfects it to a degree. But you just want to be sure that your jar is clean before you add everything to it. Once I add the tea and yerba mate, I add the sugar. So for this recipe, I'm doing about 2 cups, doing half brown sugar, half white sugar. I just do that because I like the flavor of brown sugar, but you can just use any type of sugar that you like, really. Just for 1 gallon, I do about 2 cups, but if you like it more on the sweeter side, you can always add more sugar to your liking. But 2 cups seems to be pretty good for this recipe for me. Then I give it a good stir and just let it dissolve in the hot water. Alright, and then once the sugar's all mixed in, I dilute it a bit with just hot water and to just fill up the brewing vessel. So we'll leave a little bit of room at the top just for the kombucha mother to sit, and it might grow during the process, so you kind of want to leave a little bit of room at the top of the gallon jar. So before you add the kombucha mother, you want the liquid to completely cool down to about room temperature. So I just let it sit for a couple hours, covered with a cheesecloth. Then once it's cooled down, I just add the kombucha mother with a little bit of liquid from my past brew. Once you do that, you can just cover it back up with a clean cheesecloth or any type of cloth just to make sure fruit flies or debris don't get into it. And now the kombucha is ready to ferment, so I just put it in a cabinet somewhere or somewhere dark for about 2 weeks. I like my kombucha a bit more on the dry side, which means it's less sweet. So if you want it sweeter, you can brew it for less time, or if you want it more on the sour or dry flavor side, you can let it brew for up to 3 to 4 weeks. After that, it starts to get a little bit too sour, in my opinion. So once it's done brewing, you can just jar it up and put it in the fridge and make another batch with your mother. Hope you like the recipe. It has a pretty nice flavor. It just adds a bit of a different twist to normal kombucha instead of just always using tea as your base. So just adding a little bit of yerba mate gives a little bit of variety, maybe some other health benefits. And let me know if you make it and what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.